What is going on, mortals? Mortal T here. And I'm back with another news video for Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, I know this is the second one I'm doing because the first one did actually receive quite a good review, to be fair. A lot of people seem to have liked that I did it, and it got more views than my regular gameplay does, which is kind of frustrating, but nevertheless, I've got another update video on Fortnite. This includes more details about the new additions to the map and some pictures of it. We've actually got the actual map with the actual locations of where the new points of interest are, and then there's actually more than we expected. There's at least 5 new points of interest on the map. We're going to take a look at that, and I'm going to quickly go over as well a new thing, I don't know what to call it, a new model, a new firing model for the guns and how they shoot. I've got some tiny little bit of information about that, which we're going to be covering first. Then I'm going to go over to the new maps and an interview that Epic Games did. We're going to read around. We're going to be reading about the information that came with this huge update. There's no actual release date yet, but we have got more information on it, and I'd like to share it with you, mortals. But first, if you haven't already, mortals, don't forget to click the subscribe button right here, and don't forget to click the bell notification right next to it. And also make sure you go and follow me over at Twitter at _mortal_t. But without further ado, let's get into the actual information that I have at this very moment in time. So, we have a tweet here from the Fortnite Battle Royale team. It says, a new shooting model for Fortnite is being tested. These new features and updates just keep getting better. Then under that, we have this right here. So, we are currently testing a new shooting model that removes ADS RNG from spread. We have plans to let players play test this, as well as provide feedback so we can get it right. That was just a tweet that they tweeted out, so they are working on a new shooting model, which is really, really cool. But if we go over to the Epic Games website, I know this information is a tiny bit old, but got a little bit here. They've been initially play testing an overall of how their shooting model performs, so they can remove random bullet spread while aiming down the sights. We have improved shooting while maintaining the usefulness of building cover and under fire, and without changing the engagement distances or the flow of the game. So these are the things I have been trying to perfect in shooting, because if you haven't noticed, even when you're ADSing, that means aiming down sight, you'll just get a random bullet that just goes off nowhere for absolutely no reason, which is kind of stupid. That's what ADS is. You aim in, so you get better control over the gun, so you know where the bullets are going. You don't need a random bullet flying off here and there. Just absolutely no point. It's meant to hit the target you're going for, not fly off and actually miss the character or the person you're trying to kill. Like, it's just stupid. So it does look like they have been working on it for a while, and once they have like a working model of this, they are going to let players, that's us, have a test play of it to see what else they could do better. And then once they've got it like perfected, they're actually going to bring it into the game, which is actually really cool. I cannot wait for this to come out, just to see if it's any better than the one we've got now. But at the moment, that's all the information we have. There's no information about it. They just gave us this little snippet here, and I wanted to bring it to you, mortals, because I know some people do get frustrated about how this game performs gun-wise and how the guns shoot and everything. So I thought I'd bring you that tiny little bit of information. So there you have it. But now, moving on, we're going to move on to more of the map stuff that is coming. Epic Games did do an interview with a PC gamer right here. So what it says, close up with Fortnite Battle Royale, massive map update. The update adds 5 named locations, including cities and mines, and overhauls of visuals, which is really cool. Now there's a lot of information. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm basically just going to paraphrase it. Sorry, I don't know why I said paragraph. That's so stupid of me. But yeah, let's go. This week's Battle Royale map update is more than just a tweak. Epic has added 5 new named locations in the western half of the map. Like I said, there was in the last video I did. They're added to the west side, or the left hand side of the map, including the biggest town yet, entitled Towers. Now that is the name of the city. They've called it Titled Towers. Or titled. I don't know. I might be getting that name wrong. Sorry. Where the buildings are 6 or 7 stories tall. So I did mention that in this city, fair enough, it's not going to be like a huge city. It's not going to cover a great expanse of the land. The buildings are just going to be a lot bigger. And I got that right as well. And an underground network of mine shafts designed for close quarters combat. So the development key team of the game, obviously, this is the first city that they've ever done. On the ground, its blueprints is about the same size of the existing locations of Greasy Grove or Pleasant Park. I did mention that in the last video as well. I thought that it probably would be the same size as Pleasant Park, so I got that right again, which is pretty cool. So it's going to be really kind of big as Pleasant Park, but the building's going to be a lot taller. Instead of like 2-3 stories, we're getting 6 to 7 stories high, which is absolutely amazing. Now these buildings are going to be close together, so you're going to have close combat, and you're going to have building to building combat as well, which is really cool. So we're going to move on. You can get even closer to your enemies in a Shifty Shafts, the second most notable addition. It's a medium-sized underground mine that is made for close quarters shotgun battles in the dark, basically. So yeah, the Shifty Shafts basically are made for close quarters shotgun battles, or any weapon that you know you can do good close work damage with, basically. So yeah. That's a really cool addition. Now this is the old map. This is what we expect. These are all the locations that we know of. So you got Anarchy, Pleasant, Greasy, Flush, Fatal, Moisty, Retail, Lonely, and Whittling Woods. They're all the places that we know about. Well, and Loot Lake, obviously. Now we have a map update with all the new stuff. So this is what the new map is going to look like. They've actually overhauled it completely. Instead of just pure green like that, they've added some more details, which is really nice. Now I have got a bigger image that we can actually zoom in, and I can show you a bit more of what is actually going on. So I'm going to zoom in a bit more. Here we go. So like I said, I did get most of the locations right. I did say that the new city was going to come around the area of where the bottom of the loot lake was. I was absolutely right there. Up here, they haven't named a motel, but there is a new location that wasn't there before, so I'm guessing that is the motel. And then we have the junction. That is exactly where I said that the junkyard would go. But they've also added this. We've got the Haunted Hills now, and Snobby Shores, which is on the west coast. And if we go down, this is the shafts that we were talking about, like the mine shafts and everything. So that is really cool. They've added most of the stuff to the west side of the map, the left side of the map, which is actually really nice. But it's not just that. They haven't just added like big name places. They've added small places as well, dotted around the map, just to make it a bit more better. Right, a hell of a difference, right? You'll initially spot the 5 new locations: Junk Junction, the Haunted Hills to the northwest, Snobby Shores on the west coast, Tilted Towers near the centre of the map, and Shifty Shafts just below it. The idea behind the changes was to add density to the west side of the map, bringing it into line with the east. Exactly what I said as well. I said in my last video, if we go back over to the map, you notice on the right hand side of the map, there is already a lot on here. There's a lot going on. You had Anarchy, you had Dusty, you had Spring, you had Retail Row, Lonely Lodge, Wailing Woods, Moisty, Fatal. You had all that going on. And on the old map, all you had on the left hand side of it was Pleasant, Greasy, and Flush, which is down here. That's the only named locations that you really had. But now they've added 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 new named locations. So it sort of adds up to the right side of the map, which is pretty cool, because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 places on the right hand side of the map. And now on the left hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's only 1 off, but it's still more than they had, which is absolutely fantastic. You're gonna have more close quarters fights. You're gonna be coming across people a lot more, because they're gonna be headed into more densely populated areas. So let's get back to the information. Now, a lot of people obviously will be sad that some of the countryside, if you want to call it, some of the bare land, gave them an opportunity to land in a place that excused them from all the massive fights that were going on. They didn't want to join in all these fights. They wanted just to stay back, maybe gather some loot and keep themselves to themselves, and maybe try and win the game that way. A lot of people don't like to get a ton of kills. They don't like to get involved a lot. They just want to stay back, grab a chest here and there, grab some of the loot, and then just go to the end of the game. I know a lot of people used to do that. I used to do that, and I still do it a tiny bit, but I do push myself these days to go to bigger areas. It's just the way I think the game should be played, but I'm not saying it should be, because people do it different ways, obviously. And it does actually mention here, the person who created it, I loved dropping in the west because of how sparse it was. You could grab a chest from the top of the mountain, survey the area, build your way down, and pick people off as they tried to sneak between a few houses dotted around. Which is fair enough. So here we go. Alongside those named towns or places, the team has added more points of interest, basically smaller settlements and buildings that can be explored, which is really cool. Now, I haven't got a map to compare it with, but we can try and get one right now. So let's open this in a new tab, and we'll park it side by side. And now we can actually see, if we zoom in a bit more, what we actually have. What other little bits that they've added. So as you can see here, they have added something right here, like they said they would. The massive build, well, not a massive building there, but it is there. But what other things? Now, I was suspicious about this one, because I don't remember that being there in the old one. Now, I could be wrong. Between Greasy, yeah, there's nothing there. So they've added something there. I think there's like a little house that's maybe there, but if you look on the new map, there's something much bigger going on, which is cool. But apart from that, if we go down to Flush, there are some other things I've added near Flush Factory to make it a more popular place, because not a lot of people like going to Flush Factory, just because it's on the edge of the map and the zone rarely drops there and you don't seem to get a ton of loot from it. But now they've added way more areas to here. Just to the right of it, you've got this little place, and up even more, you have this little place here. Then you go into the new mines, which is pretty cool. So they've tried to dot things here and there to make places more appealing to go. Now, I've only shown you some of them. There may be some of them that I cannot see on this map. It looks like there might be a tiny little place there from Pleasant. I don't know if that was there before. Up in these woods. Yeah, I think that was there before. Hang on. Yeah, there probably is like different dotted houses around the whole map. And different like maybe broken down little shacks that you can go in and get some loot. Which is nice to see that I haven't just added big areas, I've added literal small houses here and there as well. So people who like the style of just dropping into like a lonely house and getting their loot and maybe not engaging in all the enemies, is really nice to see that they're taking that into account as well. So it says here, I'm almost looking forward to discovering these even more than the named towns. Naturally, everyone's going to go ahead straight to the big buildings, which could leave these smaller spots deserted, which is pretty true. The compound east of the Flush Factory looks particularly juicy. So they're talking about this little compound here. That's why they put it there to try and draw people more to Flush and get more people down there. So the eastern half of the map is virtually untouched. That means the right hand side of the map, this side where Salty Springs is and everything is, they haven't really touched it from what I can see, but it is still looks quite different. That's because of the virtual facelift that the developers have given the game, adding biomes to give the world more variety, which is actually really cool. And what they mean by different biomes, like different mountain biomes, different forest biomes and stuff like here. So you can see here, there's a bit of dirt here, so that's kind of a different biome with some trees dotted around. And then you got mountains over here. That's what I mean by different biomes. You got the massive wood over here, same as like the Wailing Woods, and they've just tried to add little biomes here and there to make it, I don't know, just to make it not like green flush landscapes that you always come across. You're only like a massive thing and all you can see is green, a mountain here or there. I think they've tried to spruce it up a bit and not make everything look the same as you're running through. What's going on here? Go away. Do you mind? Going away. Thank you. So that's basically all the information, particularly to the map, more than anything. Before, everything had a similar green tone like I stated before. We wanted to spruce that up, so we added different biomes. We now have a mountain region, a farm region, a swamp region. The old grass look is in a smaller part of the map. It's like night and day. These new visuals will make the points of interest more recognizable and easy to call out to teammates. So yeah, that's pretty darn cool. The new map does look absolutely amazing. They did a great job in it. So that's pretty cool. So we got the swamp biome, which is over here, as you can tell, obviously. Then I'm guessing this is kind of the farmland, all this kind of yellowy greenish ones. Got woods over here. Then I'm guessing they mean this is going to be the mountain region. All this right here is going to be the massive mountain region that they said that is here. Like they said, they got different biomes. We have the mountain region, which is this one here. This whole left side of the map. Then they have a swamp region, which is obviously Moisty Mire. You know that's a swamp region right there. Have the old grass look. I'm guessing what they mean by old grass look is just the normal stuff. So from Fatal, Spring, Dusty, Retail and stuff. That's like the normal grass, the old grass stuff. I did miss obviously the farm region as well, which is up top of the map right here. This different discoloration to the map. Now, unfortunately, I don't know why they didn't. I didn't do that to Fatal Fields, because that is a farm as well. But they've just kept it as like the old grass look. Don't know, but all I've got is another picture for you, mortals. This is from like the Shifty Shafts. This is what it's gonna kind of look like. I'm guessing this is gonna be at least one of the entrances to it. So it's meant to all be underground. Obviously, it's meant to be mines, which is pretty cool. But apart from that, mortals, that is all the information I have. I know I've tried to cut it down as short as possible. That's why I didn't read all the information about this interview. I just highlighted the bits that I thought that was important that you mortals would actually want to hear about, and we shortly went over the new like shooting model that is in progress that might come to the game very soon. So anyway, mortals, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did find it informative in any way and you liked it, please don't forget to show that like button. Who is boss? By punching it in the face. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the bell notification right next to it. Boom. And don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where all this information is basically I can get out of my fingertips. I can tweet it to you, I can send it to you, and all that. And you can also keep up to date with all my live streams that I will be doing. And as always, mortals, don't forget to share it with your family and your friends and around the world. But that is it. I am Mortal T, and I am out.